Hey there, we made it to the Willow Winds RV Park in Hurricane, Utah. And we're at the Dynamax rally.
Good morning. So we got here yesterday afternoon, probably around 4. And we went to after we got set up, we ended up going to the meeting that they had. It was called the Wind Down Wednesday. So everybody, well, not everybody, but I brought some wine or their cocktail. Scott had his cocktail, and we sat around and kind of got the introduction of, well, everybody introduced themselves, and then an introduction of what we should expect for the rest of the week at the Dynamax rally. So it's kind of a schedule of events and what's to come. So that was pretty fun. And then today we woke up, got coffee, and we are headed to our classes. They actually split them into 2 different classes. So you have the ISATAs, which are a little bit on the smaller side, and then we have the larger Freightliner chassis. So we're going to go to those talks today. I think today we're going to learn about maybe some of the slide functions and things like that. And then this afternoon, we are headed out on the Jeep excursion. One of the attendees to the rallies is local, and she's going to take us on a Jeep tour up to a place called Molly's Nipple. That should be fun. So, all right, here goes nothing.
So inside, when you get under your bed or under your washer and dryer above it, you're going to see the big sticker on the wall. And it's going to talk about the green, the purple, and so forth, which is your in, your out, and all that. I remember looking at that and scratching my head and my ass at the same time, thinking, what the hell does all this mean to me? This doesn't make any sense.
Dan gave us a great class on how to adjust and inspect the slide system. Hutch Mountain then gave a great presentation on the easy touch and easy start systems for the air conditioning. They also offered us some great discounts and did the installs on site. So we had a really good time on the Jeep trip. Nancy did a great job of leading us along and giving us a bunch of the history along the way as we went. I think we were out for about 4 or 5 hours or something like that.
Yeah, it was most of, all the afternoon.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
So it was a good chance to meet some new people and just kind of see some different area.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And the people who were actually right behind us on the Jeep ride, turns out they have a golden retriever, and I'm a sucker for a golden retriever. So we ended up chit-chatting with them and ended up just kind of hanging out most of the evening with them, having a cocktail and...
Or a few.
And letting the dogs get acquainted.
Kind of neat to meet some new people, and they weren't even part of the Dynamax group. They have a different type of rig, but it was fun to meet new people, and maybe we'll run into them again, hopefully someday.
Yeah, one of the members of the Dynamax rally it was parked next to them in the RV park, and they had a Jeep Gladiator. So he invited them along.
Friday morning we had some more group meetings or discussions. We learned about the differences between batteries, between lithium batteries and lead acid batteries, and some safety issues to do with those. Like we did before, they divided us up into 2 groups. So the ISATA people went and did some things, and the Freightliner people, we talked about air brakes and air systems and the pros and cons of what to do and how to maintenance and that kind of stuff. Then we also sat down as a big group and we discussed all the different modifications that we've done on all of our rigs. And there were some pretty cool ideas. A lot of people had some different ideas on how to do things, and we heard a lot of cool thoughts, and it made me have some ideas for some things of ours in the future.
Yeah, so after the morning session, we decided there was another Jeep ride, but since we did it the day before, and this one was supposed to be even longer, we decided to skip it. We kind of wanted to walk around and see the RV park in its full, but really we wanted to walk around and see all the different motorhomes, the DX3s and the...
Yeah, there's a lot of different rigs
XLs.
We wanted to see.
Oh, and the one, so there was one of the attendees, Two Bears, he talked about his modifications.
Yeah, during our modification talk, he told us all about the modifications he did. He basically bought a chassis from Dynamax, I guess, and ISATA 5, and just stripped it all out and put it all back together. So we'll put a link down to his page because it has all sorts of cool stuff.
Oh, that's
shows
cool.
The interior and stuff of it.
They ripped out the black tank and the toilet, and they actually replaced it with an incinerator toilet, and they can boondock, and then they replaced it with more fresh water.
Yeah.
And so they can boondock for...
I think he said 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Off-grid,
all at
totally.
the same time without ever hooking back up. So it's pretty neat to see. So we were able to walk around and just really check everything out.
Chatted with some different people who didn't go on the Jeep ride, or the ones that didn't have Jeeps. So we got to chat with some different people and just see all the different rigs.
So I had no idea that Dynamax made all different kinds of rigs. I just thought they made Super Cs.
Dynamax, which is part of the Forest River group, they actually make quite a few little motorhomes. The smallest ones are the ISATA 3s, and those are on the Mercedes chassis.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And then they make the ISATA 5s, and those are on the Dodge or the Ram 5500 chassis vehicles. And there's quite a few of those out there around. Then they jump up to the Forces, the Force HDs, the DX3s, and the XLs. Those are all on the Freightliner M2 chassis. So those are just the different levels that they make of the bigger vehicles. So there's kind of a lot of cool rigs out there, and a lot of different styles. And
we actually came across a really neat one of the Freightliner chassis. We walked around and it was the DX3, and I said, "Oh, that's a really neat DX3." And I went, "Wait a minute, that's the shorter DX3, which is a 34 model, but it had 3 slides. So
Right.
Normally the 34s have 2 slides, or they don't have the opposing slides."
Right.
And this one did, and then
we also noticed that it had the larger front chassis cab on it. So the XLs have what's called the M2 112. It's got a bigger engine, bigger radiator. Well, same engine, but bigger radiator. And we noticed that it said DX3, but it had the XL chassis basically. And it was a triple slide, but it was only the 34. So it was kind of a one-of-a-kind unit from what we could see. And we were asking some questions and heard a few things about it, but if you guys know who it belonged to, or if it belonged to you, leave us a comment, let us know. It was kind of a cool rig, and I'm assuming it was a one-off kind of rig, so we'd like to know what it is.
pretty cool. So Friday night, they had kind of an organized, let's everybody meet at the campfire. So pretty much every night before then, a group of people had been at the campfire, which happened to be right across from our spot.
Yeah, it was pretty convenient.
Very convenient. So when we had to get a refill or anything, we just popped back over. But Friday night was a big crowd.
It was a big group.
Yeah.
Yeah, large group.
And it was fun. Everybody told stories and then got in their little, then just chatted with small groups and just nothing formal. Just, hey, let's meet at the campfire and have a good time. So everybody brought their chairs, and I mean, it was a nice gas fire pit, but there's a lot of people around
There was a lot of people around it.
we spread out pretty good.
A lot of laughs, a lot of good stories being told, a lot of ideas, still even modifications and ideas, which I like that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun to, you know, get to know other people and other people's ideas, and it was a great time.
And actually, one of the workers from the RV park stopped by and said we were the biggest group they've ever had around that campfire, and I think he was talking about how polite and nice
polite,
we were,
respectful,
which
and all
we
that
were.
kind of stuff. And he asked if he could take a picture of our group so we could put it on their website or something. So I don't know if it ever ended up there. We'll have to go back and check. We actually, I think, stayed up an hour or two past their quiet hour time, but
we were
nobody's
quiet.
telling.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So everything's fine. So the next morning, we actually had to leave on Saturday, which was the next morning, and there wasn't anything really. There was no classes or anything like that planned.
They did have the big breakfast get together.
Oh, yeah.
They had everybody, or a bunch of people brought their
I think they had like
Blackstones.
8 or 10 Blackstones.
Blackstones, and they cooked a big breakfast, and so everybody met and had breakfast, and then they did a bunch of their giveaways, and we didn't bring out our little thing, but
hold on.
Ashley's got a cutting board here that we got from Dynamax, and so the Dynamax gave us those, and we've used it, so we got that, and then we chit-chatted a little bit more. The group kind of stood around and talked, and then from there we set we got the big group picture.
Yeah.
We got the group all together and took a group picture, and then from there we kind of said our goodbyes and got ourselves packed up and worked our way southeastward.
Saturday, the only thing we missed was kind of people walking around chatting some more, watching college football, and then they had a walking taco, which apparently was a big success, so we'll have to make sure that we stick around a little bit longer next time.
We really enjoyed the rally. It was a lot of fun to meet all the different people, and it was for the first rally we'd ever been to. I was quite surprised, and I really enjoyed it. So we're looking forward to the next Western rally when they decide where it's at, and maybe even going to the one in Tennessee in June.
That's in June.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
The Eastern
never know.
rally. Yeah,
It's a little ways away, but that's a good excuse to hit the road.
absolutely. So we're going to continue on southeast, and we're working our way towards Dallas and Fort Worth area to see my brother. So follow along, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us any comments about any of the information that we gave. If you have any questions or have any corrections, let us know. So have a great day.